Did you know that for this movie, Frankenstein's lab and Captain Anderson's ship were fully constructed sets? According to Guillermo del Toro, he wanted real sets, not digital, not AI, not simulation. He wanted old-fashioned craftsmanship, people painting, building, hammering, and plastering. I was very excited for this adaptation of Frankenstein, which is one of the most classic monsters of all time. I knew Guillermo was going to tackle this movie really well. He's one of the masters when it comes to fantasy monster genre. But also I knew that he would have his own take on things, and I was just blown away by it. I was so impressed by literally everything about the movie. It was, in my opinion, a masterpiece. I have three things that I liked about this movie, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I liked, the story and the plot. I like the approach of the story of first it's told through the eyes of Victor Frankenstein, you know, what happened, and then it's told through Frankenstein's monster. So we get to see that two sides to the story. It's not, it only happened this way. I like the order too. It kind of jumped back and forth between the past and the present. It really keeps the attention. It really keeps the pace going. There's never a dull moment in this movie. It's a slowly building masterpiece. You gotta set all the pieces right. You gotta get everything established, and then once everyone knows what's going on, that's when you fully deliver on everything. There are a few differences. I'm not gonna get into like the major differences. A big one is the ending to this movie is different from the book. It actually gives us a little more of a happy ending. The book, not so much. If you've never read the book, I highly recommend checking it out, reading the book. The way Guillermo decided to end this movie, I actually really liked the change in ending. Sometimes that can be a risky move, changing an ending to a story that's been around for a couple hundred years. People know how it's supposed to end, and you go and you change the ending. You know, if anyone's going to make a change to a major story like Frankenstein, it's going to be Guillermo, and he knows what he's doing, and he's going to do it in a way that makes sense and still ends with viewership satisfaction. Second thing, and really the best part of this movie, were the performances, and then just like the battle of morality you see throughout the movie. So the performances, the casting was perfect. Like every single cast member really played their part well. Each one of them really dove into the roles. I found the character of Elizabeth to be really interesting. Her character is very almost mysterious in a way. Like the connection she has with the monster is so, I don't know, mysterious. And she felt like she could relate more with a monster than a human. It's just absolutely incredible. But the one performance that I was most impressed with was Jacob Elordi's performance as the monster. He had so much emotion behind his eyes, behind his demeanor, how he acted. He didn't even have to say a word. But when he does say, like Victor, when he says Elizabeth, there is so much raw feelings and emotions and depth to how he says these things. And like a kid discovering the world for the first time, just how every little thing he did just pointed towards like he's trying to understand himself. He's trying to understand how he came to be. Then the slow progression of him learning from that old man he met. He starts understanding, and the just amazing like character arc of this guy you think is just completely stupid and unintelligent ends up being quite an intelligent creature. The ending scene where he just comes into the boat and he's talking to the captain, he's talking to Victor and telling him the story and just how he felt. He lays all his feelings out on the table. He doesn't hold anything back. It's basically like if you're getting bullied over and over and over and over again, you kind of just keep quiet. You try to ignore, right? But eventually you're going to hit a point where you just hit a tipping point. Something's going to snap, and every ounce of you is going to act out on how you feel, whether that's through words or violence. The battle of morality in this movie was so well tackled. I mean, you can go on for a long time talking about, you know, should people dive into trying to figure out how to postpone death? Should people try to figure out what drives a person in their grief and their suffering and their jealousy? The way it's approached and the way each character handles morality is different. Each person has a different view on morality. Like, this is the huge overarching lesson of morality, of not playing God. And that goes into my favorite scene. Easily by far my favorite scene was the sequence at the very end of the movie where Frankenstein's monster and Victor are going back and forth playing the game of cat and mouse. There's just so much anger and frustration and bitterness and jealousy and all sorts of emotions that they're pitted against each other for different reasons. You know, they're trying to outsmart each other, right? And easily my favorite shot of the movie, it's so amazing, is where the monster is standing on the horizon and you just see his shadow, his large looming shadow, and behind him is just like color, right? It's such an amazing shot. Oh, I mean, there are so many amazing cinematic, epic shots. I expected nothing less when it came to the cinematic feel and atmosphere of this movie, how it all comes to climactic end, and like I said, the ending is different, but the ending actually was quite a satisfying ending. I highly recommend see this movie as soon as you possibly can. It's on Netflix right now. So for Frankenstein, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What's your favorite version of Frankenstein? See you soon.